You have to beat 9 other savages. These guys are no slouches too, right?
So
You're competing.
I don't even think it's like that. Hey, folks, we got a good one today, man. A dude making great decisions. Decided to make a run at that Army officer. Smart guy from Baylor with a 3.8 GPA. Hey, man, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. You know YouTube is trying to shade on your boy. They're not sending out his notifications, so you got to check in on the channel to catch the new fire-ass video. Hey, we bringing Friday Night Zooms back. So Friday night is 7 Central. I'll send a video out with the link, but we're shooting Friday Night Zooms. First 30 minutes is questions on anything in life. Second 30 minutes is special operations. Bring the fire, no trolls. Hey, enjoy this video. I think a lot of people that watch the kind of the channel, like We Build Champions for Life, fail to understand, like, a lot of life is just making really sound decisions.
Oh, yeah.
That are like factual based, right? So like a bunch of people want to go be SEALs, but the SEAL pipeline right now is just, it's a little bit on the stupid side, right? But you got this big green machine in the Army that has 100,000 special forces guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I think I started out like a lot of dudes. They kind of go window shopping for the best special forces kind of unit because you're like, oh, I want to be a badass. You know, I settled on PJs. So then I went into the recruiter's office. I talked to the guy. I do work my ass off, but I'm on the smaller side. I walked in there. I was like, yo, I want to be a PJ. And he's like, oh, yeah, you'll make it. You'll make it. Like, those guys will tell you, like, anything to get you to enlist. It's kind of crazy like that. And they're like, oh, yeah, just go to our development program. We'll get you in shape. Then you'll get selected for sure. Because I was, like, dead set on enlisting as a PJ. But at the end of the day, you're looking at it through kind of like a rose colored lens, right? Because at the end of the day, you're still going to be enlisted. It's like a numbers game because you're comparing like, oh, if I make it, this will be my dream job. I'll be such a badass. But then if you don't make it, you're scanning ID tags at the gate for 6 years. It's like the SWO-V contract for the Air Force. Like, it's the Special Warfare Enlisted Vectoring Program. That's the one that the Special Warfare, like, you know, if you want to go combat controller or PJ, that's the road you go down. And it's a 6-year contract, and you get needs of the Air Force. It's like, if you have a high enough GT score, maybe they'll put you on a mechanic, but it's needs of the Air Force, and no one wants to scan the ID badges.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Baylor University.
Went to Baylor, great school. What was your degree in?
Management information systems.
Okay, so computer science, something like that?
Yeah, it's like a cross between computer science and business.
Okay, and then what was your GPA?
3.84.
3.84, and you're going to be scanning ID cards.
Yeah, if you think about it objectively, and I think that's what a lot of people miss. They don't use their brains. It's because, like, if you're enlisted and you go in as an E3 at the Air Force or an E4 as in the Army, you're getting paid like $13 to $15 an hour. Like, you're a sandwich artist, man. You just wasted 4 years of your life, whatever K in student debt you took on, and you're making as much as. If you think about it, it's like, if you just went to college, are you gonna be working at Subway or McDonald's? Like, because that's the amount. Would you do that? That's stupid, right? But if you go in as an officer, you're making around, I think, 45K a year, just like as an O1, no years of experience. Like, that's a decent wage. And then as you go to O2, you're making almost, I think, 60 something thousand a year. And then as you get to O4, like, you are set for life. If you're trying to make a career out of it, the only option you really have is officer, because otherwise you're just setting yourself up for failure, I think. And you never have a 100% chance of, like, making it. You know, these attrition rates are 50, 60, 70, 80, upwards of 90 in, like, the Air Force pipeline. These are very high. If there are 10 dudes in a room, you're one of them. You walk in, there are 9 other guys. You have to beat 9 other savages. Like, these guys are no slouches too, right? So, you're competing.
I don't even think it's like that. You have to survive. You have to be the last man standing in the room, right? There's no competition at Buds. Like, you're not competing against anybody else at Buds. You're trying to compete against Buds. Now, that's a whole different story. You trying to get selected as an officer to go to SEALs is a whole different animal. Because that's a 2-week competition, like, you know, who's who in the zoo. I got this high school kid going out there right now. I'm like, look, bro, it's less than 1%. 1 out of 200 high school kids is making it, and you think you're going to be the one. I said, why don't you just go work construction for a year or two?
Yeah.
Well, I want to go to Buds. I'm like, dude, the goal isn't to go to Buds. The goal is to graduate.
Exactly.
Go to the teams, I'm going to throw you a curveball when we get into this a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah. I went through my options and then you're deciding, you're like, okay, I should go officer. A lot of people don't understand you don't have to go to special forces to have like a fulfilling military career. But it's like you don't have to, because in the army there are so many different options you can take and you get put on an order of merit list. But I'm looking at either infantry, engineer, or armor, because these are all like fun things that you can do. You don't have to be an extreme door kicker ranger to have a good time, I think.
No, I'm going to tell you like this. Have you thought about flying at all?
I did consider it for a bit, and the Army actually has a program. It's the 153A. It's Warrant Officer Pilot.
Yep.
So, like, if you go 15A, which is Aviation Officer, eventually, you're going to get put behind a desk, maybe put an S shot or whatever. But if you're a warrant officer, I mean, you're flying for 20 years, and that's all you have to do. That's all you have to focus on. So there are like so many different options that the Army offers that I think a lot of people just don't. They don't do their digging, they don't do their research. Look at all the branches, see what you want to do. Like there are so many different options. It's like a buffet, man.
Have you signed up already? Are you already going in as an officer in the Army?
So I started my OCS application, but officer positions have boards, every few months. So I just missed the May board because my recruiter, he got some misinformation. So I'm going for the August board. I've got
so understand this. He did it on purpose.
He did he?
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's going to try to get you enlisted in the next 3 or 4 months while you're waiting for the August board. Okay. So let me ask you this. Have you thought about going to fly in the Air Force or the Navy? Like flying real planes, making real money, getting out, making $375,000. Because you're smart as fuck.
Mm-hmm. I did consider the Navy pilot route, but they said the pipeline was backed until 2025, which I don't know is true or not. But
they're all fucking backed up. They're all backed up.
Yeah, I kept bugging them. And they're like, yeah. And then the Air Force, supposedly they have a pilot shortage, but I'm actually on the shorter end. I'm like 5'3.5".
Is the limit 5'4"?
Yes, it's 5'4". So I talked with the recruiter guy, and he's like, yeah. But I think all Air Force officer recruit, like they want a high standard, so they're gonna try to get you.
I'm working on the Air Force shit, right?
Okay.
Basically, the way it was explained to me is they have so many people applying for pilots that they don't have to do any work. And so they make the application process one of the 5 hurdles that you have to get over to be able to even get there. The Air Force has a Zoom call every Wednesday night, and it's the Det 1 program, which is their minority recruiting for pilots. All right. So maybe you just jump in there and check that out and see what they're saying.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you're 5'3". I know it's an arm length and a leg length thing. Like it's a couple other factors, but I mean, you're smart, but you're going to go in the Army, be an officer. You go infantry. Yeah. I mean, you just got to go in super shape, bro. Like that's the big deal. Yeah.
I'm at like 75 push-ups, 17 pull-ups, and 848 swim. The swim doesn't really matter, but I'm at like a 1332 2-mile, which is like, it's on the slower end.
Yeah, that's slow,
which
bro.
I'm aware. I've just been working on that.
Do you have my PDF?
I just got it from you a few days ago because I've been doing.
So how tall are you? 5'3 3/4". How much you weigh?
I weigh 140 right now.
Okay, 140. Do you squat?
I do squat. I can squat 315 for 3.
315?
Yes, I can squat 315. Yes.
Dog, is your stride length really short?
Yes.
Okay,
I would say so.
So then you got to work on stride length.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, I'll give you the cheat code of the century. I learned it by accident. You want to do a half-mile downhill run. You want like a 7% grade downhill.
Okay.
It feels steep, but it's not steep, right? And then you want to reach and pull with each leg and try to get as far. If you do that for 6 months, you'll drop 2 minutes off your 2-mile time. How much are you running a week? How far?
I just got up to 20 miles a week. I was cranking out 3.5 to 4 a day, but then I got a pretty severe shin splint near the last 3 days. So I went into a physical therapist 2 days ago, and then she tested it for stress fractures to see if anything was going wrong. It was just shin splints, and there's a tendon in my knee.
So ride the bike for a month.
Yeah. All right.
You got the vitamins?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take the vitamins, ride the bike for a month, hard as fuck. And then reapproach. You got time. You're going to crush the PT test.
That's the plan, sir.
So We just got to get you up to running 35, 40 miles a week. You'll run faster. But if you work on stride length every day for half mile, in 6 months from now, you'll see fucking time just fall off. Like it'll start falling off in about 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think my timelines, since we're going for the August board now, I'll probably ship around September, October, November, sometime around then. That's what I
Probably
was told.
if you get picked up in August, you'll go to basic in January would be my guess. The two guys that I got picked up in August, unless your recruiter just got the skids greased.
Because he said I would ship out before Christmas. He's like, guaranteed you'll be shipping out before Christmas. I was like, all right. Cap or no cap, you think?
Maybe. Because once they pick you up, it's still got to go get approved.
I think it's also, if you go infantry officer, they like pretty much guarantee you to go to Ranger School and Airborne School. Because if you don't have the tab, they're like, who's this guy? So I think it's a good gut check. If you do want to go Rangers or Green Beret later down the line, then you're going through basic, you're going through OCS, then you're going through the basic infantry, basic officer leadership course, then you're going through Ranger School. And if you can make it through all four of those things with flying colors, then you're like, okay, I'm like upper echelon, I'm cream of the crop, I'm ready to go for, I think I can make it in these special forces units.
My two dudes, you know what I'm gonna tell you. You said it, like, don't plan the life out now. Live where you are and kill it. I had 3 dudes just graduate the last 2 months. They were all at the top of their class. Fucking kill it. So
that's the plan.
I tell everybody it's not hard. You just got to go in and fucking be ready. After going to OCS, I would have loved to have been in the Army, man. You just have so many more people. It's so much easier to shine. Like, it's just a bigger organization, man. So, all right. So you go in Army. You got your board in August. Your running sucks. Doesn't suck. It's just you got to, but like, get on the PDF, get some speed work. But I would tell you, find you a nice half-mile downhill run. You need to lift 3 times a week. That's it.
Okay.
Because lift more muscle equals less endurance.
Yeah. Makes you slower too.
How are you on land navigation?
I haven't attempted anything with land nav yet.
I got a little land navigation class. The thing is $19. It's basically fucking free. You got time, right? Are you working right now?
Yes. I work as a chess teacher, so.
Okay, you're teaching chess. Okay, so great. Yeah. This is what I want you to do. I want you to Google orienteering clubs. Okay, I want you to start going to orienteering.
Okay.
All right. The other thing you can do, what ROTC units are you around?
I'm not sure. I can look that up, though.
Call the ROTC unit and ask them if they have a land navigation course in the area.
Okay.
Okay. Because you're going to be measured in the Army by land navigation as an officer. And you don't want to show up to basic trying to learn land navigation the way the Army teaching you. It's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then you got questions, just hit me up. I'll help you out with that shit. So solid, man. You're going to make a decision. You're going to go in the Army as an officer, go out there to fucking OCS, kill that shit, go to basic, kill it. I just wanted to get you on here so people can hear kind of your thought process and why.